Stream. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, Discord. Good morning, everybody. We're just gonna wait for our setups to hit on the ES, the NQ. ES did just reject this demand zone down here, which was pretty strong. I'm gonna delete this yellow zone. Was a 1 minute fair value gap. Let's see if that 1 minute fair value gap does want to sustain though, right? So let's mark that out real quick. This is ES. Okay. Give me 1 sec. Set up the trades. Good morning, good morning. What is going on? What's up, what's up? Let's see. What are you guys watching today? Let's get NQ on here. Let's throw us back on the 5 minute real quick. Again, I do want to see bull step in this morning to push us higher. So I'm going to be patient on that. We do have the CVD is green right now. That's bullish. We check our weighted index. Let's check our stocks, right? Look at that Meta, nice gap and go back above 500 on Meta. The VIX is sort of chopping around right now. The video with a bit of a gap down, guys. And the video back under 125. Pretty strong key psych level right there on the video. There's a little bit of a pop right now. Let's see if we could clear this 19,935 area. I might take some scalps on the NASDAQ. I do want to point out on the 30 minute that we had a pretty nice rejection candle, right, on the ES and the NQ that looks bullish. So let's just see what we have in store. There's that push. Okay. So let's see. We're coming up to that 3540 area, right? This is very strong on the heat map. A lot of resting sell orders right there. Probably gonna look for something like this on the NASDAQ. Yep, some good buying pressure. Video with trying to gap and push. Let's see if we get a fill down here. I don't want to get filled down here long in case we do want to reject and start pushing lower. That 5 minute looks pretty good for bulls though. So we'll probably go light. And this is also, don't forget, this is based off of that lower time frame, that higher time frame, I should say. That 30 minute looks good for buyers. And if it looks good for buyers on the 30 minute, we could continue this trend. We could rally way up to here. So I'm going to look for a move higher. We might look at this fair value gap we're going to create on the 5. On the 1 minute, we created a fair value gap. Go right there. Make sure I'm not marking anything I shouldn't. Nope, there's a wick there. No fair value gap there. Said I wanted that fill at 1930. We broke that wall, the sell wall. So I do want to see if buyers want to continue. Nice, good buying pressure right there. Damn, man, good stuff. All right, we're into that 5 minute fair value gap now on the NASDAQ. We're not in it on ES. I do think we're going to want to plow right through it. Look at that. Remember, my original trade plan this morning, guys, I wanted to see how we would react if we took out these highs up here. See this double top right here on the NASDAQ? I want to see if we could take these highs out and then hit that 15-minute supply zone and reject. Because that would trap a lot of people long once we break those highs. Dude, look at this. Nice. Yeah, I'm definitely going to look for a long entry if we could pull back. If we could pull back. Oh, man. We're hitting a wall, guys. Be careful now. Be careful. Let's see. ES seems a bit weaker right now than the NASDAQ. See if we created any type of fair value gaps over here. No fair value gaps on ES. NASDAQ, a strong move. See if we can pull back. Okay, so we do have now this 1 minute fair value. Oh my god, I'm keep moving this zone right here. Can I lock that? There we go. Okay, so I'm looking right now. This potential 1 minute fair value gap to hold. We have to see. We're pushing right through it right now. Coming back to that 35, 40, 45 area, right? That was a pretty strong area of resistance, and then we broke it. So I'm probably going to see NVIDIA pretty weak. Remember, NVIDIA gap down. So that's, ooh, strong move on Microsoft and NVIDIA to the downside. I'm staying patient here, guys. I'm staying patient. Not a big fan of that structure. Okay. I'd consider a long here. Probably look something like this. I would just, it's tough because we're going long against a pretty strong trend lower right now. So we're really just going to stay patient on this guy. See if some strong buying wants to step in again, and then we'll grab that long. But as of now, weighted index is pushing lower. Meta pushing higher, Microsoft pushing lower, Apple weak, NVIDIA with some buying pressure right there. Let's see how this 1 minute closes, and then maybe I'll grab a long position. We'll try to keep a tight stop on it. Nope, not a fan of that 1 minute. Staying out of it, guys. Just stay patient. Cannot rush into trades. Just like Sig said this morning, treat every trade like it's the trade. Like it's you get one trade. Just stay patient, right? So we're gonna wait and see. I feel like this could be a potential spot to go long, but again, look at that strength to the downside after we rejected that 5 minute fair value gap. So we're gonna wait and see. This is why we don't chase longs, right? That big sweep low, we're going to wait on that 1 minute. Got to remember the higher time frame, 5 minute, looked pretty good until this current 5 minute. 15 minute also looked all right, but it's the 30 minute really that sold us that has that long lower wick down there. So I want to see. We have that and that. Okay, so now we have our levels to watch on ES and Q to know that, okay, we're going to stay bullish if ES could get back above this level and if NQ could stay above this level, right? Because that's our 30-minute time frame. And we're just going to be real patient on this right now. Can't jump in on every little pullback. I like that NVIDIA is trying to push higher. Weighted index did make a new low of day, though, so I'm going to stay a little patient again. I do like this pressure building up in here, but I don't know, man. We're gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait 15 seconds on this 5 minute close. Weighted index weak again, making new low day on weighted index, staying out of NASDAQ. Nice. Here, this is what I'm looking at weighted index wise, guys. This is the weighted index. Look how it's pushing way lower. This is Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, and Google. Got to get NVIDIA in there, but look at that. Strong push down on Apple, strong push down on Microsoft. I'm not going long on NASDAQ. If our tech is weak, then we're not going long in the tech index. So we're going to wait. We're going to super wait. Because we don't know if those indexes will want to reverse. We don't know if those stocks will want to push back. We're going to wait, but it looks more bearish right now. There's a big wick on the weighted index right there. And we're hitting that level on the NASDAQ. Look at the bit of a divergence. NASDAQ trying to push lower, ES trying to push higher. I might grab... Part of me want... Alright, we're going to go along there on the NASDAQ. Stop is at the... is at the low of this current candle. Right down here, I'll put my stop. Got to be careful, though, because now we're taking that long against an inverse fair value gap, actually. So let's see if that pressure does want to hold up. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. Definitely does not look too good right now. Might have jumped the gun on that. Let's wait and see. Let's wait and see. Yeah, we're gonna go right down, right down. All right, I'm out of that real quick scalp, right? Scalp loss, but we're gonna take that for what it is. I do think we might hit this 30-minute demand and try to bounce, but again, we're going against bears are really trying right there. But now we're in this bit of a demand zone right there. So again, just patience is key right now. ES is a bit stronger than the NASDAQ. Weighted index is trying to push higher right now. So I'm going to be crazy patient at the moment. Not jumping in anything. Look at the bears right here on the NASDAQ. NQ much weaker. That sell-off noise. We got that sell-off noise on NQ going crazy right there. Do we take this short and scalp it short? Let's see. Yeah, this thing's gonna go cray-cray. Just staying patient, right? Because right now we're stuck between our rock, which is our demand, and a hard place, which is all the resistance that's trying to push into the market. So, we'll be patient. Gotta be patient, my guys. Patience is a virtue. Because guess what? This 5-minute, it could wick lower, make a new low a day on NASDAQ, not make a new low a day on ES, and then reverse, right? So we got to be crazy patient and just wait for the market to really give us that A+ setup. I'm still a little bullish based off the 30-minute time frame. However, we could sweep that and I could just, that's just no good. How's the 90? How's the 1 hour? Not really seeing any supply zones form on the 2 hour, except for ES has this one right here if we want to continue lower. 3 hour, 4 hour. We're not really creating a supply zone on this move lower on ES and Q. We did on ES, not really on NQ. So there's that new low a day on the NASDAQ. So we're now at a spot that nice. Okay, we're in that on ES. We're in a demand zone on ES again. That did hold up pre-market. So we're gonna see if we could set up a quick 4-to-1 on that. Okay, I'm gonna put out 2 orders to go along on the ES right there. Stop loss is at the bottom of the zone. Filled on that drop. It's just, I don't know, guys. Those bears seem pretty angry right now. Yeah, I'm playing it super tight, super light. Yeah. Yeah, look at those bears, mean business right there. Yep, strong selling right there, strong selling. It's alright, we'll just, if it hits the stop, then we just regroup, stay patient, and come back at it. NQ breaking a demand zone, but trying to grab that liquidity down there. It's 10 seconds on this 5-minute. There we go. Come on, let's trap some bears, guys. Let's trap some bears. Nope. Market's like, nope, we're trapping bulls. But now we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. Want to see a strong buy bubble come in on the ES. Weighted index is trying to push higher. Nice. Gives that little push. See how we're failing though to hold. We're having trouble right now. Let's get rid of this zone. Get rid of this zone. Get rid of this. Do have this small 5-minute if we close below. NQ much weaker. Weighted index is trying to push higher. Microsoft too. Meta new high. Meta's double topping at a high a day right now. VIX was trying to push lower. I'm going to stay in these longs, guys. I'm in 2 ES contracts right now, long off of this demand zone because we swept those lows. Good stuff so far. We're looking for a quick 4-to-1 risk to reward on that. Because we have a tight stop, so we're going to do tight target. We might be able to move that target too to up here even. So we're going to see. Nice. So that automatically... Nice. Boom, guys. Boom. Boom. There we go. It's just that one trade to make it back. I'm gonna look to probably get out of some. Part of me is like, now we're grabbing this long. If we could sweep this liquidity up here, that would be ideal. That's what I'm looking for, a sweep of this resting liquidity. Resting liquidity would be where there are previous highs or lows, or just areas where there are potential stop orders. So right now, the resting liquidity would be all up in this area up here. There we go. There we go. See this 55.36? That's right up in here. So if we could get a nice push... Damn, nice, nice, nice. Currently at above 2.5 R on this trade. We are feeling a bit of weakness right here, so I might cut one contract. Where are we at? Where are we at? Let's see. So we're hitting that 30-minute open right there. Yes, trying to be a bit stronger than the NASDAQ right here. Again, though, I'm probably going to cut one contract off just to lock in some gains. I don't know, man, because if we do reverse, weighted index trying to go higher, the thing is NVIDIA is making new low a day, and that's super bearish, guys, and we can't fight that. Just can't. I'm going to give this 5-minute to close. I'm going to let this 5-minute close. Stop is still at the low of demand. It reached a high of 3-to-1. I'm looking for a 5-to-1. Look at the ES and NQ, right? The what's it called? The market pulse. Market pulse on ES is trying to push bullish. Market pulse on NASDAQ is trying to push bearish. More divergence. Got any news today? I don't think so. See, I like that for bulls on the ES because of that divergence. Because once if NASDAQ flips, ES is gonna fly. But the problem is, if NASDAQ doesn't flip, NASDAQ has such a strong pull on the ES is just gonna fail. 10:30, alright. Want to see if we can go up to this 55.33 level on ES. But look at this. This is getting real tough up here. NASDAQ new low a day. ES is not close to new low a day. Strong selling on NASDAQ's crazy right now. Yes, though, is not really feeling it. It's gonna start to, though. Can't go that long without feeling it. Let's see. See if that wants to hold on ES. Yeah, super bearish on NASDAQ, guys. Super bearish on NASDAQ. Would not go long on NASDAQ at all. Would only go long on ES. Would only go short on NASDAQ. Come on, ES, give us something crazy. Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to see that strong move. Let's trap those bears on ES. NASDAQ could stay as bearish as it wants. Come on, baby. Just one strong, quick move. I'm going to get out of one contract up there. Nice. I'm going to... If we get some strong buying, I'm not going to get out of any, but I sort of feel like cutting at least one contract up here. I don't know. That ES, man. Definitely much stronger than NQ. Yeah? Come on, Nas. Come on, ES. Come on, baby. Nice. Boom, guys. Boom. 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 Nice. Holy cow, guys. Alright, I'm going to cut one contract up here. Boom. I'm out of one ES contract right there, guys. I got one contract left. Nice buying pressure. I'm looking to target this fair value gap up here. We're running it, baby. We're running it. Thank you, ES. Yeah, no, that was a good one, man. That was a pretty solid one. I'm thinking a lot of people are going to target that fair value gap up there. I'm going to be patient on this, though. I already cut some profit. What gave me the idea of going long was I saw that the NASDAQ was a lot weaker. It was breaking a lot of the demand zone, so I knew NASDAQ long positions. We had that nice move at the beginning, and then we tried to pull back, but then bears were just too strong. But I saw ES kept trying to stall out at this demand zone, and this demand zone was also the pre-market lows. And whenever we have some type of pre-market low in a demand zone, a lot of times they're going to hold up because a lot of people are trying to take that pre-market low sweep. Boom, guys, look at that. Huge. Right to that fair value gap. Keep going. I'm holding. Keep going, ES. Let's go. Damn, that's crazy. Ho. Ho. Hold it now. Hit it. Nice, ES, man. Printing it upright now. Printing it upright now, guys. See that? Oof. I'm going to get all out there. I'm going to grab that and get out into strength. That was a beautiful run, man. We took a small 200 loss on NQ. We flipped it around. We stayed patient. Then we just took a 6 to 1 on ES. Made it all back. 800 plus on that. It was real good, right? So we keep our losses small. We stay patient. And then we execute accordingly. Real good stuff. Real clean. Beautiful. Now I'm not going to touch any more long positions at this point because guess what? I'm still more bearish on the NASDAQ. We had all these sweeps come in. That was a fantastic, fantastic trade to start. Well, back and forth, really. Let's see. Yes, Air Attacker. I see what's going on, Air Attacker. New to the community. What's up? Oh, is he still in here? I think he left. He's asking if I'm day trading. Boom, ES. Oh my god, ES. That's crazy. That is crazy, man. That's crazy. Holy cow. Told you guys, ES was much stronger. Oh man. Where'd I get out? I got out at 38. That's just another 3 points. I'm not tripping over 3 points. That was still a great trade. Real tight stop loss. Great entry. 6 to 1. Beautiful. This thing might continue. I don't know. I feel like it needs some type of pull. Oh, weighted index popped. Weighted index is right here. Again, the weighted index is a handful, a bundle of tech stocks that help move the market. Very large cap stocks, Apple, Microsoft, Meta. Actually, I don't think Meta is in it. It's just Microsoft, Amazon, Tesla, Google, and Apple. I gotta update it because I want to throw NVIDIA in there, but quite honestly, NVIDIA by itself is a weighted index. The way it moves the market's crazy. Good stuff, good stuff. That was, that was fire, man. We might keep going. All right, let's check out higher time frames. Let's see what we could be targeting, right? So something I noticed here on ES, we have a bit of a supply zone right there. Should have noticed that. If I saw that supply zone, I probably would have targeted it instead of the fair value gap. Or maybe I would have had one target at fair value gap, next target up there. Regardless, that was real nice. So you see up here, guys, I don't see any supply zones up here. However, I do see we have this pivot, right? So this pivot is an area where there's going to be some type of resting liquidity, stop orders, something that will trigger the market needs. So we might see some type of reversal there. A lot of times that's when we get a reversals at a pivot or a swing. So we're getting weak in the supply zone right now. Sort of chopping around. We got the 1 minute looking a bit weak. We might break it though. Looks good to break. Gotta remember, even though we're entering the supply zone up here, if I was looking for a short position, I would take account. Look how strong this previous candle was, right? This is a really strong bullish candle. I don't want to short right after this. I'd rather follow that trend. The trend is our friend. But because we were so strong into a supply zone, I'm not going to chase this because now I don't know if we're going to start to fail here. So I'm going to be patient. Buyers have been pretty nice to us today. Let's take a look at crude oil. That was pretty dope, guys. Usually we trade crude or NASDAQ. We hopped into the NQ, the ES, and made some good monies. Oh man, look at that. I didn't even realize. Crude oil gave us a perfect tap right here, 920 off of demand and pushed higher. Okay, there's that break of that supply zone on ES. Crude oil, I'm going to set some alerts because we do have some strong areas up here. Something I want to show real quick with crude oil is... Alright, so we got weakness up in this area of interest. Oh right, I wanted to show you guys. I was playing around with, where is it? I was playing around with ChatGPT and I asked it to analyze a chart of crude oil and it gave me such a great breakdown. I asked GPT to analyze this chart and it did. This is the chart, wait, no. This is the chart that I gave GPT, right? So I gave it, it's a 5-minute time frame. I have a breaker block, fair value gap here, and a 15-minute supply zone, right? There's no hourly time frame here. And yet, it told me, right here, where'd it go? It had an hourly, it says 80.50 to 80.53 is a 1 hour zone. And I was like, that's weird, I didn't give it a 1 hour time frame. Then when I looked at the hourly time frame, look at the zone. So without even seeing that part of the chart, it was aware that this level right here where it tapped 1 and 2 times, and even in the past, was a strong level. So that's pretty insane how advanced AI is right now. Like, it could literally help us create some type of trade plan, some type of idea where support and resistance is. Like, this is the era to start trading. Like, that's nuts, guys. Alright, now back to our regularly scheduled, oh my goodness, ES. Oh, let me set those alerts on crude. I did, perfect. Add another one. And now we could put our NASDAQ back up so we don't have to watch crude. We have alerts up on there. Look at ES, man. Beautiful. Beautiful. And you see NASDAQ's failing, guys. ES is way at these highs that it made. Let's see. ES is way up here, right? NASDAQ way down here is not near those highs. These are highs that I wanted us to sweep before we pushed lower, but we are divergent as crazy right now. Good stuff, good stuff. Guys, just a FYI too. I know somebody messaged me, somebody asked about it. I won't name drop who it was, but I am opening up some slots for one-on-one sessions, and time frame's pretty flexible. Person that wanted to do it is in like Canada and is in like Pacific. It's like 3-hour gaps. We're gonna be doing that like late tonight. But I'm only open up a few slots just because I do need some time during the day. But one-on-ones are a lot different from live streams, and the reason for that is because you get the guidance. We get to go over exactly what you are personally dealing with, right? What are your pros and cons, right? What do you understand in the market versus don't understand in the market? What could you do better in the market? Holy cow, guys. I can't believe we caught that ES at the low and then got out way too early. Gotta take note of that, but I'm not complaining. That was still a beautiful winner. Still a 6-1 on that. That's crazy, man. That was a lot of strength. That was a lot of strength, and we're still going. Guys, weighted index has been popping, right? So this is the weighted index. So if you can't have all of these stocks on your screen, right? If you only have one monitor, maybe two monitors, then what you can do is you could use the weighted index instead of having Meta, Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, VIX. You could, well, what? Yeah, I'm coming. Give me 1 second, guys. Give me half a sec. What's the best part of trading? The freedom, being able to do it from anywhere. All of it, man, all of it. But back to what I was saying, one-on-ones are a lot different from live streams because it's think of it like tutoring, right? Now you can learn there's all the education you need on YouTube for free. But with that being said, all the education on YouTube, that's a lot, and that can get beyond overwhelming. You're going to end up diving too deep into one thing, you get caught up with another, you get sidetracked by another, and then you end up looking at too much at once, right? Whereas if you could simplify your trading, know what works for you, know what doesn't work for you, and just execute accordingly, right? Be patient on that. So here's NASDAQ taking out these pivots right here. These are pretty strong pivots because it's also where this 2-hour demand zone started. So we would mark out, right? This is a pretty strong level. This is a pretty strong level. Staying patient there. Let's check if we got any other higher time frame supply zones. We have a little one right here on ES. But we did break that. Broke a lot of pivots on ES. Just looking to see if there's any type of supply or demand zones we may have missed. Nope, not seeing anything. We have huge fair value gaps going on. Man, I can't believe that. That would have 15-1. Holy cow. That's crazy. But 6-1. Can't complain over 6-1. 3-1's good, 4-1's good, 6-1's great. Anything higher, golden. But just because it's a high risk reward trade doesn't make it a high probability trade, right? These are things we have to take account for and consider. So, right, I was going long on ES down here. We'll look at the 1 minute. I was going long on ES right in this demand zone. So as soon as we came into this, wow, ES is going higher. When we came into this demand zone right here, I went long. While the bears were pushing us lower, I was going long in demand because we swept pre-market lows. And I also noticed if we look at the NASDAQ right here, NASDAQ was much weaker, pushing lower. ES, much higher, pushing higher. Divergence off of demand with a lot of strength. and I'm in the one that is a lot stronger, that is the right way to trade that. So right now we stay patient. We had a nice strong extended move. This move can continue. This move can reverse. We don't know up here. That's why we look for entries at the tops and bottoms of ranges. So right now this would be considered the top of the range, because if we look left, this is where a lot of highs were, a lot of areas where we rejected and pushed lower. So going long up here into all of this resistance might not work in our favor. In fact, it makes it more of a low probability trade, right? We know high probability, we have to know low probability. Good stuff, good stuff. Great stuff today, guys. And it's all live. You know what it is? Live streams are great because you get the extra experience of watching the market, but you also get the experience of watching the market with someone who has, most likely, if it's not me, if it's somebody else, a lot more experience than you. So it's almost like getting double the experience in the same amount of time, because instead of watching the charts randomly or naked, right? Like if you had none of these drawings on here and you were just watching the charts, then sure, you're getting your market experience. But if you're not plotting the right levels, plotting the right support, resistance, areas of liquidity, then that experience is still great. You're still learning. It's still a part of the process, but it's not as fulfilled of a day, right? You're not getting that extra education to push you further, faster. But either way, great stuff, guys. Real great stuff. Do. Alright, let's get our drawings back up on there. And sometimes looking at the chart without the drawings is helpful, right? Because looking at a naked chart, I might see something that I didn't see with all the drawings there. If I'm coming into today with all these demand zones, well, I might want to take a look at the naked chart and see, okay, well, the naked chart's telling me we're making all of these lower highs. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So I'm not going to go, even though we're in this demand zone, we're in a few demand zones, I'm not going to go long. We've been making lower lows into demand. We've been failing to make any higher highs out of demand. I'm going to be patient here. Now, I will say, because we broke this demand zone, I believe with a long wick, right? But we didn't close below it. I wouldn't say the zone is valid anymore, but I would be aware that we broke it and tried to reverse, right? So a lot of people who were going short this morning, while we were going long on ES, they were going short on NASDAQ. They are trapped after we had that strong move higher. So good stuff, good stuff. Damn, ES, man. ES is just non-stop right now. Non-stop. Non-stop traffic. Damn, ES is just flying right now. Flying. To me personally, right? I'm not upset that I took the win short, but I'm going to journal it, right? I'm going to make sure that I acknowledge, because I haven't really traded ES too much. Usually we're trading NASDAQ, we're trading crude oil, but using ES to trade NASDAQ, using NASDAQ to trade ES, and so on is really helpful in a sense that that it gives us an idea of which one's stronger, which one's weaker, which one should we be trading, which one shouldn't we be trading. Look at the trend on ES today versus look at NASDAQ is still in this range. So if we looked at the 1 minute right now on NASDAQ is a lot choppier than the 1 minute on ES. ES has been a smooth, strong move higher. We're looking at about 0.5% return. Let's see, NASDAQ. Same percent return around, but the trend itself has been a lot stronger on ES, and that's because of the divergence we saw. Marzity, I forget, are you Eastern or are you Pacific? Gotcha. Cool. Justin had a question in the chat. Justin, just be careful when you have a question when we're live streaming. Try to keep the question in the main chat tab, because the live stream tab sometimes, unless you tag me like you did, it's like it for whatever reason Discord doesn't notify you on it. But here's an example of what AI can do. That's pretty dope, man. That's dope. That's cool. Yeah, man. AI is the future. Will it replace us as traders? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Um, but you never know, right? If you have a trading strategy or a style that is super textbook, that requires specific types of candlesticks, specific indicators and such, there are ways to program it, right? To create some type of trading bot or whatever. Would I personally trust that? Absolutely not. Because I would much rather go off my own analysis. I'd much rather wait and execute my own trades. It's just a lot safer that way. You could create alerts. You could set alerts when it comes to trading. It's meant for us to be individually our own bosses, right? I made a video. Let's see if I can pull it up real quick. Made a quick little short video. Been creating a lot of short videos on YouTube lately, just like little blurbs of information. We have to treat trading as if it's our business, because when we work for somebody or we own a business, we have tasks and we follow those tasks and we follow those rules. We have to treat trading as if it's our business. Basically, right? Trading is our business, guys, right? When we're working for somebody, they give us a task, they give us rules, they give us something to follow by, right? They give us a routine, they give us a schedule. Trading should be something that we can repeat almost daily, that we see in the market almost daily, that we could just repeat and understand and be able to explain to someone. If we can't explain what we're doing, then we need to really start to dissect what we're doing. We should be able to explain exactly what am I looking for? What is my setup? We should have a rule book. Shouldn't be a full book of rules, maybe a list of rules. We should have our setups that we look for. And that's it, guys. Trading should be boring. Realistically, trading should be boring. We shouldn't be excited when we're trading. And the reason for that is excitement is an emotion, and emotions will sway our trading. Now, if a trade just hit your take profit or something, and you're happy that you just cashed out on that trade, okay, you could be a little happy about that, right? That's okay, there's no problem with that. Being overly excited, though, that could mean a few things. You could have been too heavy in the trade. You could have been too light in the trade. You could have been chasing the trade. Trading should be so by the books that it's practically a job. And it's our job. It's our job to find what works for us, what doesn't work for us, and to apply those rules every day. I'm just yapping now to go over some good education purposes, and just because we're sort of chopping around right now, we caught that nice move. That's so crazy, though. How's the daily time frame? I guess if I looked at the daily time frame, there would have been more of a chance that I held that, because that's some nice lower wicks on the daily time frame on the ES. We had a pretty strong move. We could probably even throw the fib up on here. And if I had to guess, we probably bounced at that at that level. Yup, look at that, 61 to 78. 61 to 78. That's the 61% was right there at that demand zone. So even though that wasn't an extra confirmation that I had for this trade, it still was there, right? So that's something to keep an eye for. Fibonacci is a great tool to use for extra confirmation to find those sweet spots in the market. See, we're pulling back, we're chopping around right now. We're not chasing any long positions at this point because we're already so extended, right? So we can mark out our highs and lows with our fib. We see that a perfect retracement would bring us into the 61 to 78. We have a fair value gap here, and we also well, this is an inverse fair value gap now, so we're gonna mark that off correctly. So that's an inversion fair value gap. And we have a 5-minute fair value gap right here, which is a pretty big one, right? So what I would really look for essentially is a entry inside this inverse fair value gap, because it's also in the 71%. And yeah, so we would look for something like this. See if we get another setup today. Probably we could play safe with their stop by keeping it over here, because again, we're targeting some type of high a day at that point. This is going to be a retracement before we continue trend. So this is a 3-to-1 risk to reward. But then once we get closer to this area and we get a response or reaction, we're then able to play with our entry a little bit. We're able to play with their stop loss a little bit and work out a stronger risk reward on that. Let's see. Let's check out crude oil. Just get an idea of crude. Is Kevin still in here? Yeah, Kevin's still in here. Marzitti's still here. Yes, sir. Guys, if I don't get back to your messages, just give me a couple minutes. Can't stream and drive. Nice bearish momentum. Let's check it out. What's ES doing right now? Pulling back. Love to see it. Throw some alerts out there. Yeah, how great would that be if we got another setup on this thing? Alright, so we're hitting a fair value gap on the 5 on ES. This is not one that I would trust, though, because we don't really have much else lining up with it. We don't have a breaker block on the other side of it. We don't have the fib lining up with it. So I want to see how we react to it, right? So we can mark it out and then look at the 1-minute time frame and just to get an idea. Alright, so that was a pretty solid rejection right there off the 1 minute. And it is an area where we had a broken supply zone, right? So this could essentially be a pretty solid setup, right? Tight stop loss right there, target the highs. Personally, I'm not going to take it. This does not look like an A+ setup in my playbook, so I'm not going to take it. As you guys saw earlier, we took a not A+ setup on the NASDAQ, and it immediately just went right to our stop loss, which is okay because we're able to manage our losses and we understand how to mitigate and keep our losses so small. But it's a loss that was unnecessary, right? So we're going to stay patient on that. Look at the rejection off that 5-minute fair value gap so far on the 1 minute on ES. It's a great reaction. Sort of creating some type of bull flag here right before we want to push higher. So that might be an okay area to go long. What's today? Okay. Do. Look at that. That was a good reaction. This is what we're looking for. Now let's see if buyers want to keep us going on ES. Again, though, this wasn't the setup that I was ideally looking for. I'd much rather some type of OTE, which is a ICT term, right? That's an optimal trade entry that falls within the 61 to 78%. And there's the fair value gap on the 5-minute in that optimal trade entry zone, and an inverse fair value gap in that optimal trade entry zone. So it's just a few things that I really want to keep an eye for. There is another fair value gap as well, inverse fair value gap within that zone too. So because of all these things lining up, this is definitely an area I would look to go long. So instead of trying to chase right up here, I'm going to wait and see. So if the market does want to continue higher right here, quote unquote, without me, that's okay. I took my great setup for the day. But if the market wants to come down and prove me right, that's great. I'll wait for that setup. But as of right now, we're just being crazy patient. NASDAQ is still in this range, right? Look at this range the NASDAQ is in right now. ES is out of its range. That's divergence. That's you got to be so careful with that, because that means there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. Let's see. So we're just sort of waiting on this. While we're waiting, right? Check those higher time frames. What's the 15-minute look like? That's pretty bullish on the ES. What's the 30-minute look like? 30-minute was pretty bullish too. We did wick that 30-minute low over here, so we didn't really create a demand zone here. So again, we're sort of just waiting. If we look back the past 1-2 trading days, there was a strong area of liquidity sitting right there, because this was a pretty strong pivot. So we would see, okay, well, how did we react to that? We rejected that. So just patience right now. See, buyers are trying to hold us off this 1-minute fair value gap, and we also bounced off of that broken supply zone. So that was a double confirmation that I would consider. But again, I'm playing it safe. I'd really much rather play it safe up here. Very extended. If NASDAQ wasn't in this range and NASDAQ was pushing higher, I most likely would be taking this on ES. But because NASDAQ is in such a range, I'm not. But we do have to remember ES broke that range when NASDAQ couldn't. So that means there is still a chance that it could do that again. These sweeps coming in. Good stuff right there. Could have took a quick 4-1 on that right here. Would have been about a 2-1, right? So again, once there's a few keys in trading, there's finding good setups that give us good risks or rewards. There's finding good setups that give us high probability. There's being able to read the market itself and understanding where there's any type of resting liquidity, and just being patient. Once we understand these few concepts, it becomes a little easier, not easier, but less stressful, especially when we're able to learn how to limit our losses. Once you're able to say, I'm limiting my losses, it's going to be so much easier for you to become a consistent trader, because at that point you're just going to be refining your strategy and refining your setups. If you're still blowing accounts off of one trade, or you're blowing half your account off of a trade or two, you're not managing those losses correctly. You're not managing those trades correctly, because they could have been winners that you added at the wrong spot that turned into losers, right? So there's a lot to trading. But if you could get the baseline of, okay, I'm limiting my loss to $100, and you stay so consistent with limiting that loss, you will see a quicker turnaround in your trading. Once you're able to cap your losses, even though it sounds like, oh, well, if you're capping your losses, you're really limiting your wins. But that's not the case at all, right? There's no consistent trader out there. There's no profitable trader out there that is having 10, 11K days, but then having 10 to 11K losses, right? They're not 50-50ing it. They're keeping their losses small. Maybe they'll lose a grand, 2 grand, 3 grand, but they're keeping their winners much bigger. 7 grand, 10 grand, and it's all risk reward aspect on that as well, right? Are my winners at least $1,000 while my losers are staying at a max 250? Because then it's just about compounding at that point. Then you're going to have trades that hit for 10,000 while your losses hit for 2,500. And even though a $2,500 loss might sound like a lot, at that point in your trading career, you should be able to have your winners as well. So when you win that 10K, win another 10K, win another, so now you're up 30 grand, and you take 3 or 4 back-to-back losses that bring you from 30K and take 4 losses, and now you're at 20K. That's okay. You won 3, you lost 4, but you're still really profitable. And that's all compounding, that's all trading, that's all just adding a zero realistically, right? So it's just a matter of being patient, executing, sticking to our rules, and limiting those losses. You could always compound and add more contracts later once you have your rules set and your strategy 100%. Some nice bear pressure, right? So I said I didn't want to go long up here. I wanted to stay patient. We're hitting this 1 minute fair value gap again, though, so it could be providing us another entry on the ES. Stop loss would be the bottom of the fair value gap. Yeah, if I didn't already take that great trade earlier, I'd probably take a long position here on ES. Stop loss at those lows. But again, it's very difficult to, because now we're extended. Now NASDAQ's still in a range. Now the weighted index is still sort of chopping around and trying to push lower. There's a lot of things riding against us right here. Microsoft's pushing lower. It's just doesn't look that promising right now. Let's check out our crude oil. Love me some crude. Crude's got a ways to go. And listen, crude oil, we might get this short set up later in the afternoon, and that's alright. The market will get to our spots, our areas of interest when the market gets there. We do not control when the market gets there. I will say, however, that taking can get a little annoying, but it helps because look, we stayed out of this long position. We hear the bears are stepping in, so we're definitely not going to take any longs here. We're staying patient right now. Look at this heavy level right here, 55.46. Boom, we broke that. Broke that with selling pressure. That's why we didn't take that trade. That is why. But now we don't know if we're going to hold. We don't know if we're going to continue. NASDAQ is much weaker. So if we were looking for a short setup, guys, we would be looking to take the NASDAQ short because NASDAQ has been weaker. If we were looking for a long setup, we'd look for ES today, right? Now, that's not how it is every time. Sometimes we're inversed. Sometimes the NASDAQ is stronger than the ES, and we would look for ES to go long, NASDAQ to go long, ES to go short. It all depends on what the market is telling us that day. The market is always talking to us. Sometimes if we can't hear it, we just got to be a little patient till it says something. Strong selling. Again, NASDAQ's a lot weaker. Look at our weighted index over here. Selling off pretty strong. Just said how weak it was when it was up here, and now it's down here. Nvidia, new low a day. Microsoft selling off. Apple weak. Meta selling off. Just very weak. Look at that. Look at that move down on the NASDAQ, guys. We're hitting that 50% retracement on ES off of this move. We're really just staying patient. Now, we wouldn't go short on ES, and the reason we wouldn't look for any shorts on ES is because it has relative strength compared to the NASDAQ, so we'd look for shorts on NASDAQ. See how NASDAQ, where are we at? We're at ES on Bookmap, that quick, nice, strong rejection. But now we're coming into this fair value gap. This is now an inverse fair value gap. So we're just staying patient right now. Not looking for any long positions here. Just patience is key, right? You'd rather sit cash than sit in a losing trade or get in chop. Yo, what's up, Ricardo? What's up? What's up? Dude, I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. Another day, another dollar. Yeah. We caught ES at the bottom down here. Definitely disappointed we didn't ride that thing to the top. Would have been like, it's insane as it sounds, like a 20 to 1, 18 to 1 risk to reward. We caught a 6 to 1, so definitely not complaining. Yeah, right? Not complaining, but we'll be journaling. Gotta journal, gotta know. Higher time frames are always super important too. Again, look at how strong. If we're looking at these two charts right here, ES way up here. This is our divergence. ES was able to come way up here. NASDAQ failed. That's way over here on NASDAQ. NASDAQ failed all of those lows, right? NASDAQ didn't even reach any of these pivots, any of them over here, while ES ran through them like it was nobody's business. So that was our divergence, right? So we're SMT. It's our SMT divergence, smart money trading divergence. But because it wasn't really coming into a supply zone, I did not take that trade. But we still have to be aware of divergence because it signifies some type of shift in market structure. YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. Yo, Kevin, good looks, good looks. Keep it good. I will talk to you soon. Let me know. Yo, Marzidi, let me know what day works best for you. Tomorrow. Oh, you're right. We said tomorrow in the evening. Market's just chop city right now. We're getting. Looks like we should be rejecting up here on the ES to push a bit lower. Right, look at the NASDAQ also trying to push lower off of this fair value gap up here. So 1 minute fair value gap. Get rid of some of these. Now we're just chopping around right here. Again, ES much stronger than the NASDAQ. YouTube, if you guys got any questions, you guys want to see any charts, let me know. Taking a look at our equities right now, guys. Equities. Look at this right here. Apple's trying to push higher. That 210 key psych level on Apple, super important. Look at how it acted as a support. And now it might act as a resistance. So let's see. You see how right here, this 810 area, this 210 area, super strong. Support, support. Support, support. Now we could see if it wants to act as resistance. Microsoft 2, this was an area of resistance. Then it came down. See if it wants to act as resistance again. ES, some strong buying pressure. Good stuff right there. Alright, I'm just typing away over to here. Marzity, I'll let you know. I'm just sort of typing to you right now, letting you know. Have, just for the one-on-one sessions, guys. It could be for anybody from beginner to advanced to intermediate, whatever. Just know, what do you want to focus on? What do you want to work on? If you're beginning, where do we start? Marzity, you're definitely more advanced than the next guy, so we'll work on whatever you want to work on, whatever you think. Hold up, let me put on my other hat. So we hit that 50% retracement on ES. It was also that broken 15-minute supply zone, and we did start to push higher from there. Amazon, lots of option flow, says Sig. Let's take a look at Amazon. Now we're playing basketball. See, he said that at 10:23, and then look at that 10:25 candle we reversed. Interesting, interesting. Let's get VIX back up there. Love our VIX. Now, guys, for those who only have one screen, I think I was going to go over this earlier. If you only have one screen, I would usually suggest either doing something like this, where you have, turn the symbol off, where we have like NQ up here, top right. This is how I used to have my charts. ES over here, top left, 5-minute chart on everything. And then I would have either the VIX, or at some point I got rid of the VIX and I added the weighted index in this bottom right corner, right? So that would be right this one. That way, what time frame is that? 5 minutes. Oh, you know what? You got to turn extended hours on so it doesn't shrink up the rest of your charts. But we could see now the weighted index against something like the NASDAQ, something like the ES. So we see that we had a strong move right here at 950 on the weighted index, which we would look for some type of continuation. We had that reversal candle on NASDAQ, right? So before we even had the reversal on NASDAQ, we had 2 red candles while the weighted index was trying to push higher. So we had divergence in the weighted index before we reversed on NASDAQ, which could have been a strong sign to check out those long positions while people were going short. And that too on ES, right? That could have helped us on ES as well. The candles are a lot more similar to ES than it is to NASDAQ sometimes because we don't have NVIDIA in this weighted index. Got to update that. But this is how I would set it up if I only had one screen. Probably set it up like this. That way, you get a feel for where ES is, where NQ is, and the weighted index. Let's go back to our PC. PC stands for Potato County. Getting a lot more bearish on NASDAQ than ES, but a lot more bullish than on ES than NASDAQ. So I do apologize that, the stream is, I wouldn't say running dry. I just don't want to keep repeating myself because I'm pretty sure you guys get what I'm getting at when it comes to that relative strength, understanding ES is a lot stronger than NASDAQ today. We're chopping right now, right? This is the 1 minute time frame. We're now making lower highs. We're making lower lows on the 1 minute. But if we zoom out a little, 5 minute, we made a higher high, made a higher low. So we're sort of just ranging. We're really just chopping here. Look at how much closer to the highs we are on ES. The NASDAQ is a lot closer to the lows. So really just a matter of patience. Weighted index with some weakness. We might feel that on the NASDAQ right now. Hey, good morning. What's going on? What is up? Yeah. I believe so. I think that's the sale they're running is all lifetime PAs are 85 now. I gotta double check because I don't know if they're just doing that for the 150, 250, and 300K accounts. I do think it's all accounts though. Nice, congrats, dude. You passed it today? Oh no. But you said you got another one? Gotcha. Oh, you bought an eval now. Gotcha. Yeah, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Patience, discipline, and sizing correctly. Make sure you go over. I would journal that last PA account that you had. And just like journal the trades you took and the size that you were taking on those trades. Gotta remember, when we're trading like a 50K account, we can't follow that 2% rule. Because 2% of 100K, we're looking at, what, 200? 2 grand? I think it's 2 grand. So 2% of 50K, that's a grand. But the problem is our trail stop is only at 2,500. So if we really risked 2% on that trade, in not even 3 trades, our account would be blown if we took 3 losses in a row. Again, though, does it work in the favor the other way too? Yes, because if you risk that 2% and then you do 4-1 and you just risked 1,000 and made 4,000, then you have a 50K account that's at $4,000 profit. That's great, but it's too much risk on the table for that, right? It's too much because then if you take that $1,000 loss, now you have the stress of the account being at 49K. Now you have the stress of the account having a trail stop of 1,500. It's too risky to go that heavy out the gate. Now, if you start risking maybe max 250 a trade, I would really do max maybe 200 or 150 on the 50K accounts just to keep it within range, right? So you're not really stressing over a loss or two. Because again, once we start hitting those 4-1s, 5-1s, that 150 risk turns into $500-$600 in profit. So it really does, it makes it a lot less stressful for us, really. Good stuff. Yeah, micros are definitely the way to go. But it depends on the price action, right? Like ES, I was trading minis today, but if I was looking at NASDAQ in this range, we'd probably also trade minis. But if we had a strong move on NASDAQ, a big range on NASDAQ, then I'm trading micros. The range will tell me how much I should be risking. Because if I'm risking $250, let's see. Let's use this tool over here for example. Let's go back on the 5 minute. And now if I was risking, this is a risk of $500 on this, right? So let's change this real quick to 200. Now this is ES. If I was risking $200 on this trade, it says I would need one contract, right? Because it is a 3.75 stop. So it would be one contract. But if I had a tighter stop loss and I moved it up a bit, then it says I could have two contracts and I'm still risking that same 200. So what that's doing is it's letting me get in heavier contracts while keeping my risk the same, right? And that's when we're also able to play with our take profit. We're able to get real nice risk to reward setups like that. But don't think, oh well, I'm trying to go light, I'm trying to go safe, I'm gonna do micros only. That's definitely a safe way to go. But just because it's micros doesn't mean it's light. Just because it's minis doesn't mean it's heavy, right? It all depends on the range we're in, on our stop loss, how many ticks, how many points, and so on. But if you want to do micros, right, and you were trading micros and you noticed that this ES says you could do 2 ES contracts, you could do 20 micros, because that equals 2 ES contracts, because then at that point too, in 20 micros, you're able to scale some out if you felt necessary. Yep, exactly. Whereas if you just had 2 ES contracts, you could scale out of one contract, but then you're still holding one. You can't scale out of a half a contract. Good stuff today. Good stuff today. 15-minute time frame. All right, all right. I do really want to see where was it? This inverse fair value gap, this regular fair value gap right here on ES. Look at Nasdaq making a new low of day. Nasdaq created a 5-minute fair value gap here that it rejected. That would have been pretty clean. That would have been nice to target new low a day on Nasdaq because of the weakness, right? Now we can't target new low a day on ES up here. No way. It's too strong. Nasdaq would have been more appropriate to target that new low of day because of how weak it is. I think Nvidia is falling closer to value after the split or just a big pullback. You know, that's a fantastic question. A lot of times yeah, a lot of times when stocks split, we'll see we'll see we'll see a fall, we'll see a pullback, we'll see some type of price action, a lot of selling pressure coming in. Is it a pullback or are we finally reversing on Nvidia? I don't know. I'd love to see Nvidia sub 100. That would be fantastic. Because remember, sub 100 on Nvidia right now would realistically be sub 1000 before the split. And it was very, very not overvalued. AI is booming right now, just like the dot-com bubble. That's basically what we're going through with this whole AI scheme. So we're finally pulling back, guys, on the Nasdaq, on ES. Nasdaq, nice move lower. I want to see real quick on NQ if there's any type of demand zones down here. We have a little bit of a sweep area right there. But other than that, I'm not really seeing much. Okay, we're in that fair value gap on the 5-minute on ES. I wanted to see if we could target this inverse fair value gap to go along. But we're really going to have to be patient, right? Because now we have a lot of selling pressure. 55.38 was a strong zone overall. The past few days, 55.38 has been pretty strong, right? Let's zoom out and we look at it. 55.38 right here. So we're just staying patient. There's what would be our entry. We're not jumping right in because of how weak it is right now. I'd like to see, right, we have another inverse fair value gap there. I might take that long. The reason I want to take this long here on a ES is because we're inside that optimal trade entry. We're inside a fair value gap. We're inside an inverse fair value gap. So yeah, I'm going to look for a long position on ES over here. If we could tap one more time right here, 55.36 that I just mentioned, then I'm going to go long on ES. I don't know if I'll target new high today, though. I might target right up here. Weighted index is pretty weak, though. Nvidia is pretty weak. Just got to be patient. I have some limit orders out right now to buy ES at 55.36.50 exactly. Dude, I'm hungry, man. I get 10:50 already. Time flies when you're having fun. I have a lot of NVDL. Oh man. NVDL. What's NVDL? Is that just another NVIDIA? NVDL. Oh, long 2x NVIDIA. Okay. Gotcha. Gotta be careful on those types of things. As great as they can be, they can also run the other way. But that's interesting. Okay, so look at this bounce back. Again, I really want to enter 55.36 area on ES. I sort of want to grab along here and just move my stop loss up a little bit. See if we could drop one more time. It was one more tap in that demand, in that fair value gap. Stop loss is a little underneath OTE. Get lifted. YouTube, what's up? Discord, what's up? We're chilling right now. Catching some trades, looking at ES, looking at NQ. We got 5 minutes. We got 2 minutes till this 5-minute opens. We are coming back to that area of a potential entry on ES longs. NASDAQ pretty weak on NASDAQ. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be taking some long positions right at this fair value gap on ES, 55.36. Stop loss 55.32.25. And quite honestly, this might be able to go to new high today. If NASDAQ reversed down here with that divergence, yeah, I like that. I don't know if we're going to get that 55.36 entry, though. We might have tapped it in reverse. We're going to wait, though, right? Because we still got the 5-minute closes soon. And I like that 15-minute. I want that 15-minute to reverse here on ES and give us a nice long lower wick. Come on, drop. Drop, baby, drop. Yeah, I don't know. The ES pretty strong lately. Might have missed that entry. Yeah, I'm going to move my entry up a little bit, perhaps. I don't know. You know what it is? I got the 1 minute on my left-hand side over here. 5-minute usually will keep me patient. So I'm going to wait on this 5-minute. But that was a quick reaction off of that fair value gap and that inverse fair value gap. So if we could drop one more time, want to enter somewhere over here to go long. $55.36 would be ideal. Oh, buyers, not yet. Not yet, wait. Oh no, I like that reversal pattern on NASDAQ right there. Probably missed our entry on ES. Just gotta stay patient. If it comes back and gives us the entry, great. If it doesn't, then we had the right setup, we had the right idea. Because the problem is now, if we enter up here, guys, what's our risk to reward up here? We get in up here, we have to keep the same type of stop loss, and then we target same area. That's not even a 2-to-1 right now. I want to see a clean, quick drop, scare some buyers out, trap some sellers, and then reverse one more time. Dude, I'm hungry though. So whatever happens, happens, right? I did want the 15 minutes to reverse from there. And that is what we're getting. Just missed that entry, man. Just missed it. I should have had market orders out there already. That was pretty solid. That OTE, guys, that optimal trade entry, man. I've just been throwing that in my strategies and setups as of recently. I'd probably say like a month or so now, and it has been pretty ideal, pretty clean, right? Because we didn't take this fair value gap up here. We waited for that OTE fair value gap down here along with that inversion fair value gap. Damn, bulls. Alrighty then. That's fine. That's fine. We'll be right, but miss the entry. That's cool. Ooh. That's alright. We'll just look for another entry. Damn, bro. Damn. Good stuff today, guys. This was a fantastic educational day today, guys. Went over the range, went over divergence, went over a great trade setup on the ES off of pre-market lows inside of a demand. Real clean stuff. Love it. Love a good Monday like that, guys. Great way to start the week. Really great way to start the week. Got to remember next time, take advantage of that relative strength that ES had, right? Because again, we took the 6-to-1 real tight stop loss. It was like a 1.5 stop loss, not even a 2-point stop loss. That's crazy. We took it for 10 points. But it ended up going 20, 30 points. But that's all right. That's all right. Fair value gap was the final exit. I like these buyers here on ES. I would not go long up here, though. We missed our entry. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. That is crazy, man. And why did it reverse? I'll tell you why it reversed. NASDAQ swept this lower time frame liquidity that I just marked before on the 15-minute time frame from way back when. ES was already relatively stronger. We came back to that optimal trade entry on ES. We came back to a fair value gap on the 5-minute. We had inversion fair value gaps on that 5-minute. There were a lot of things sort of lining up to tell us, okay, ES is one stronger, ES is 2 the one we should be taking long. And yeah, that would have paid if we got that entry down there. Yeah. Alright, what time is it, guys? Alright, guys, I am going to be wrapping it up there. Fantastic Monday, everybody. Hope you guys were able to cash in on some longs on ES today with us. Really great. Really love that. Look at that. We might take out this new high a day on ES. That's what I would look for right now. Look at the buying pressure on Bookmap. Alright, ladies and gents, I will catch you guys on Friday, live stream again on Friday. This coming Saturday, we're going to be playing Trading Stock Market Kahoot, and the winner will get a free lifetime membership to Bullish Bears, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Alright, take care, y'all. Have a great day.